9:33 here on your Thursday. September is National Suicide Prevention Month, and we're tackling this tough but very important conversation with our mental health expert, psychologist, Dr. Laura Saunders.
Doc, I got to be honest with you. Well, first of all, she says that talking about suicide doesn't cause suicides, and it might even save a life. So I'm getting my haircut yesterday. Thank you. I know it looks good, but
I thought you had a haircut.
Yeah, thank you for noticing. So, and Ty Herndon was on. He's a country singer. He came out, very difficult to do in the country world, I think anyway. And he is pro-LGBTQ. He is a terrific ambassador and you know, he's out and living his life proudly right now. But he's got a song out called "The Gun or God," and it was about him possibly taking his life. And the resounding message was that it's not worth anything to take your life. But I was just so blown away by this beautiful song. It was simply amazing.
So that brings up 2 points that I think are really important to highlight as we talk about suicide, which is a very uncomfortable topic for a lot of people. Number one, it is a myth that talking about suicide increases the chances a person will act on it. That's in fact false. We need to talk about it more openly. It also brings up another myth, which is, you know, barriers on bridges or safe firearm storage and other actions to reduce access don't work. That is in fact also false. We need to reduce access to lethal means. We need to, you know, if you have a teenager or a young adult who's at risk, you need to lock up all of your medications. So reducing access to lethal means and talking about suicide openly are 2 absolutely important aspects of this topic.
Dr. Saunders, can you dive a little bit deeper into that, though, for us? Because I think, like we've all been talking about now for the last minute, it's a difficult conversation to have. I think people are very uncomfortable. Why is it so important, if you think somebody might be struggling or if you are struggling yourself, to open up that dialogue to kind of let other people know that you might need help?
So, Caitlin, that's a great question, because it's kind of like, I always use the metaphor, like it's like the boiling pot, right? This person's in intense emotional pain. And if you keep that lid on that pot, it just lets the pain and like boiling water build. So you have to release the tension. So by saying to someone, listen, I've noticed that you've really been struggling. Are you okay? Are you having thoughts of ending your life or killing yourself, right? To ask that question directly, especially in the context of a relationship. And I'm not asking lay people to do a suicide assessment. I'm just saying reaching out to people that you know might be in a lot of pain. But you notice someone's in pain, you say, are you okay? Are you actually having thoughts of ending your life or killing yourself? Asking that question directly releases the lid on that pot for them to say, yes, I am, and I'm really struggling.
The myth that's out there, I think a lot of people think it's just for the elderly, but that is not true either, right?
No, suicide was the second leading cause of death in ages 10 to 34, and that was in 2023. And that so this is really affecting our young people, and you know, we've talked on the different segments before about how COVID really kind of amped up anxiety levels, amped up depression, amped up suicidality, and it hasn't really gone down significantly. So we need to highlight this issue, and we need to talk about it more openly.
So, Dr. Saunders, you've got a list of myths based on suicide prevention. So we talked about not talking about it, that it can't be prevented. You just talked about it only impacting the elderly, which obviously is not true. You mentioned the barriers and the safety measures that are in place. What would one other myth be?
So it is, in fact, a myth that suicide occurs without warning. So a lot of times when you hear that someone has taken their life or killed themselves, you know, the myth is, oh, well, there was no warning. Very often, if we do what we call a psychological autopsy, you will find that they, in fact, did say things, there were signs, there were symptoms, and there are very, very often warning signs. Emotional detachment, talking about wanting to end your life, a significant mental health issue like depression, life stressors, chronic pain. There actually are warning signs. It's just being attuned to them and reaching out.
And then, Dr. Saunders, I know that there's been a lot of discussion with AI and ChatGPT. what is the best way for people to get answers or help or treatment? There's a hotline number, correct?
Right. So 988, separate from 911, right? 988 is kind of like a suicide hotline. It's a way for you to get connected to people that can talk with you and then help you make an assessment if you need, further evaluation. The other really important resource is 741-741. It's a text line. So at 741-741, you text home, and then you'll reach a trained volunteer. A lot of young people don't even talk on phones anymore.
Right.
So texting's a really good way for them to get connected. And also the Trevor Project is the leading suicide prevention group or resource for LGBTQ youth and adults as well. So 988, texting 741-741, and the Trevor Project are 3 key resources.
All right, I just want to say it's God or the Gun, and that's the name of the Ty Herndon song. It's very emotional. You should listen to it. I think it'll bring some comfort, and give you inspiration.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, Doc. It was always good to see you.
Have a great day.
You too.